JPMorgan Chase is working towards expanding opportunities for Hispanics and Latinos globally. To tell us how the firm is doing that and the progress made so far, we're joined by Global Head of Advancing Hispanics and Latinos, Silvana Montenegro, and Head of Community Impact, Carolina Jannicelli. Thank you both for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for having me.
Carolina, the Latino community is a focus for the firm's $30 billion racial equity commitment. Can you talk about why it's important to close the wealth gap for Hispanics and Latinos in addition to the Black community? Also, can you share the progress the firm has made?
Absolutely. I think it's useful to look at the data. And the data tells us that there is a very significant wealth gap between Black, Hispanic, and white households in the US. So for example, Latino households in the US on average have 5 times less wealth than white households. And that gap is even larger for Black Americans. So as the largest bank in the country, we believe we have a role to play, specifically when it comes to reducing the racial wealth gap by leveraging our business, philanthropic, and human resources to address this systemic issue. And we're doing it through our racial equity commitment. So the $30 billion commitment is primarily a commitment to increase the amount of lending that we do to supporting wealth creations for Latino and Black communities. We are supporting the growth of home ownership among Black and Latino families. We are supporting small business growth, and we are lending more towards the creation and preservation of affordable housing. In addition, we are focusing on making banking more accessible through our presence, through our people, and through making financial health resources and education available to members of the community, families, small business owners, free of charge. The goal here is to provide guidance, visibility, access, and lending to close this racial wealth gap. And as of the end of last year, we had deployed 18 of the $30 billion of the commitment.
Silvana, Advancing Hispanics and Latinos focuses on promoting growth and opportunities for the community. Can you talk about this work and how Advancing Hispanics and Latinos is addressing some of the challenges?
So Advancing Hispanics and Latinos was created about a year ago as part of our firm-wide commitment to drive diversity, equity, and inclusion for all communities. Since we were launched, we've been focused on really important areas. And the first one that I want to call out is reframing the narrative surrounding the community. We often hear about the headwinds the community faces, which, by the way, are all true and need to be addressed. And we hear less about the many contributions that Latinos are making to the economy, as well as their talent and potential. Latinos today contribute $2.7 trillion as a measure of GDP for the US economy. This is the size of the GDP of France. So obviously that cannot be ignored. The other things that we're really focused on are, one, building our pipeline of talent, as well as growing career development opportunities for our employees. And one of the areas we're really proud of is our commitment and engagement with the Hispanic student population. So this year, we welcomed our first cohort of Hispanic college sophomores to our fellowship program. And for many of them, this is the first corporate experience they had. And last but not least, we're very focused on providing financial health education as well as resources for both Hispanic families as well as businesses so that they can grow and thrive. This work obviously cannot be done alone. And our partnership with the community impact team, as well as multiple lines of businesses across the firm, is what brings the whole power of JPMorgan Chase to drive change in the community.
Lastly, Carolina, what can employees do to help move the needle and take part in creating a more inclusive work environment?
All of us have a role to play in creating a more inclusive environment for all. We can start by staying up to date and learning about the progress that we're making with the racial equity commitment. We can also join a BRG like Adelante, also by talking to your friends, family, and broader community about the work that we're doing at JPMorgan Chase to support diversity and inclusion, and refer anyone who wants to learn more to jpmorganchase.com, where you can find information about the racial equity commitment and advancing Hispanic and Latinos.
Global Head of Advancing Hispanics and Latinos, Silvana Montenegro, and Head of Community Impact, Carolina Jannicelli, muchísimas gracias por todo lo que están haciendo. Thank you so much for being here today.
Super obrigada. Um prazer.
Muchísimas gracias.